Welcome, everyone, to Simply Bitcoin, the channel that breaks down all the daily Bitcoin news from Twitter, the daily fail, the meme review, software releases, sometimes the websites by plebes. Drop us a like and subscribe. All right, we're going to the numbers. We are currently at a block height of 664,698. The current Bitcoin price, 33,885. Chain rewrite days, 599. Total lightning capacity, 1,059.03 BTC. And the Bitcoin versus gold market cap slowly climbing to 4.98%.
Looking good, Phil. Man, that was an all-time high, was it? Is it?
I'm not sure. I think it wouldn't be, because I believe that when we hit the all-time high, was it like 3 days ago, 4 days ago? That would have been the highest percentage. So we're close. We're definitely close. We're sitting at like 34K. We were at like 34,100 a couple of hours, like an hour ago.
So it's close, but no cigar. No Satoshi the Bitcoin chicken, because the price of Bitcoin did not hit an all-time high.
No, it didn't.
Phil, it's time for
the daily fail. All right. So
what do we got today, bro?
Today's daily fail. All right. We are going to have a little rip on unit bias. So here we go. This is actually a tweet from a fellow Bitcoiner and author, Andy Edstrom. And he put this. He puts, I just got an email from Flipside Crypto suggesting various shitcoins to buy if I can't afford Bitcoin. Can't afford Bitcoin? As if a Bitcoin weren't divisible. You know, are you effing kidding me? You're better than this, Dave Balter. All right, so CEO, investor, board member. All right, currently crypto, blockchain fanatic. All right, here we go. Shitcoiner, ready to capitalize off of everyone's stupidity. Okay, so unit bias is one of the tricks that gets people into shitcoining. Okay, because you see this really big number, you know, you go and you take $1,000, okay, and you get yourself, you know, right now, let's say approximately 3% of a Bitcoin, okay, or 3.3 million Satoshis, okay, because it takes 100 million Satoshis to make one Bitcoin. Now, you take that same $1,000 and you throw it into a shitcoin and you get yourself like 30,000. And depending on the shitcoin, you could be getting yourself 250,000 of these. And again, the stupid human brain looks at this and goes, I've got so much more. And what do? You picture this thing going to like 10 cents or whatever, you know? Do you know what it takes for this garbage to pump to 10 cents? Okay, I've done this myself. It's a horrible move. Had I have just left my money in Bitcoin, I'd be sitting in a much better position today, okay, than buying these shit coins, because I fell for the unit bias. So that's exactly what that tweet is about, okay? It's about the danger of unit bias, and people have to remember Bitcoin is divisible, okay? You can, you know, for that same $1,000, you get 3.3 million Satoshis.
You're absolutely right, Phil. And that's why I think we need to move to a SAT standard as soon as possible. Cash App already started that. I only buy SATs on Cash App. I don't buy the Bitcoin anymore. And then I know Blue Wallet, so I kind of have like a watch only on Blue Wallet, and I use the SATs as much as possible. I don't use the Bitcoin thing, you know? So I totally agree, because if you're counting in SATs, you know, that the unit bias is actually working to your benefit, right? So
exactly. You know, I mean, why not? If they can trick you into losing your money, then you can be tricked into holding on to your value in your money and maybe even growing it. So
absolutely. Yeah, man. It's XRP is a scam. Phil, it's time for
the daily meme review.
All right, guys, our meme for today is brought to us by BTC BRAJ. Let's check it out. It looks pretty funny. I haven't seen the meme. It doesn't have sound. It's true. It's true. It's silent. You kind of have to watch it again.
Yeah.
Weak hands. Grayscale pay you here. Take all the Bitcoin. It was a 38. I mean, it's a good lesson. Okay, yeah. It's a good lesson. It's a good meme. It's a good meme. It was kind of pixelated. It was kind of hard to understand, which is why I had to watch it 2 times. I'd give that a 6.8 from me. What about you, Phil?
That's exactly what all right, I suck, but that's exactly what I was writing. 6.8. Like, yeah, it's about that. I mean, look, at the end of the day, right? It gets the message across, and it gets the point across, you know, that, look, you shouldn't mess around, you know, just accumulate and you'll do just fine.
Yep, it's totally true. Amen to all your points. I mean, I have nothing more to add to that. We had the same score, so I guess we were thinking some similar things. Anyways.
I was thinking 7, but it's like, yeah, it is 6.8.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like 7? No, 0.2. Okay. Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by Crypto Cloaks.
All right, everybody, our news for today. This isn't really news. This is kind of like rub it in your face, right? So JP Morgan, right, says Bitcoin could rise to 146,000 long-term as it competes with gold. And the article is nice to mention that JP Morgan CEO multiple times, mind you, has called Bitcoin a fraud in the past. And this is my favorite part. He is more interested in a little bit of blockchain, but no Bitcoin, right? So it's just so funny. And I guess it's extremely ironic. And whoever was running, I've said this so many times, who's ever writing the script has a huge sense of humor. Phil, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, JP Morgan, it's so funny to see them say, because they hate Bitcoin. Jamie Dimon, you know, deep inside, these people are so upset, you know, so it's just funny to see this. And of course, you know, at the end of the day, these groups, right, if they haven't figured out by now that blockchain is bullshit, then they're the suckers. And if they are proponents of blockchain, like I just said, they're suckers. The only reason that you would do this is for Bitcoin, and they hate Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, they have no choice.
Yep, it's man, so far. Anyways, Honey Badger doesn't care.
No, it really doesn't.
Honey Badger doesn't care.
No.
The headline for today, Phil. We discussed this. Has been quite a buzz, right? So Marathon Patent Group. They are a public company. We've reported on them before. They bought a crap ton of S19s, right? The best miner right now, the best ASIC miner on the right now, made by Bitmain. But man, check this out, guys. This is an important piece of news, right? So they announced publicly in this press brief, right, that one, they're going to increase transparency and all financial information will be audited by a third-party U.S.-based financial audit firm. That's a good thing. Lobbying efforts to improve the policies and regulatory environment in North America for miners. I don't know how much I believe that, but here is the thing that you guys should be furious about, because I'm super angry, and I know Phil's super angry, and all Bitcoiners should be angry. Clean block mining that adheres to the Office of Foreign Asset Control compliance standards and reduces the risk of mining blocks that include transactions linked to nefarious activities. That is a heaping pile of, right? Let me explain to you why. Okay. So remember not too long ago when BitGo was fined $93,000, it was by that same office, right? And it was because they didn't block IP address from specific countries that the US has sanctions to. Mm-hmm. Now it appears that same office is putting pressures to North American miners not to mine specific blocks. Now, I know the question that you guys have, will they be successful? Absolutely not. Why? Because unless that specific American governmental branch puts pressure on every single miner around the world to not mine those specific transactions in question, all that company is doing is just losing revenue. Like it's pointless. You're not stopping the ship, right? Because what happens is every 10 minutes, a Bitcoin block is found. And there's about, there's a limited amount of mining pools. And it's like flipping a coin, right? If you flip a coin 100 times, it's most likely, right, it's going to land 50 times on head, 50 times on tails, right? So that same concept applies to Bitcoin mining, right? Instead of heads or tails, imagine it's just it's like a dice. You roll a 6-sided dice 100 times, it's going to be equally, it should land on those numbers equally amount of times, right? So if you visualize it in your head, right, every time a Bitcoin block is found, right, no matter how big the mining pool is, if you mine for like an unlimited, 100 days, probability is that eventually that one small miner is going to find a block, right? So if that one small miner is not adhering to those same BS rules, that one small miner will confirm the transactions that were not confirmed by this specific mining pool. Right. Okay. So they can't stem the tide. It's exactly what you said, Phil. It's like they're trying to apply financial regulations to something they don't understand. And Bitcoin doesn't care either ways. It's going to keep going. Again, this is a stupid regulation. I think that they're doing this more for compliance than actually stopping the stem of whatever they're trying to stop. What are your opinions on this, Phil?
So I guess my first thing is this. Who is going to be monitoring all of these transactions to figure out whether they can be mined or not, and who's paying for all of this to be done?
So I think
this just sounds completely, to be honest, it sounds stupid.
I know that
it just doesn't sound practical. Like it's like you said, it just doesn't sound like you can. I don't know. I just don't see this as something that can even really be done to an extent that it's enforceable, and even workable.
So that's actually a really good point. So to answer who does this, it's a block analysis, right? Which is hired by the U.S. government, and they have a blacklist of transactions they don't agree with or addresses they don't agree with, and they'll send that out, I'm assuming, to one of these companies. Now, here's the thing. This puts small miners at a significant disadvantage, right? Because if the U.S. does pass this regulation where it's like American miners can't confirm specific transactions, where you have a feeling this is heading, or else they wouldn't make this type of announcement, right? They're trying to protect themselves from regulations. It puts miners at a significant disadvantage, because now what you're going to verify, you have to pick and choose what mining pools you want to mine with. Like, it's a disaster. It's exactly what you said, Phil. It's exactly what you said 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It's so on point. It's that they're trying to apply financial regulations that work for the fiat system onto Bitcoin, and Bitcoin doesn't fucking care. Sorry I curse, but it just doesn't care. It doesn't care. This isn't going to work. This is just a headache. And it's just, I guess, slowing down the inevitable demise of the fiat, right? So that's my perspective on it, man. It's just BS.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, Phil, it's time for, it's not a software release, but it's a hardware release.
Hardware releases. Yeah, we've never done one of these before. Anyways, so here we go. Blockstream is controversial, right, amongst Bitcoiners, because not everybody agrees with Liquid, not everybody agrees with Blockstream, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, they have made a hardware wallet called Blockstream Jade, and it looks like it's for Bitcoin and Liquid. So, pretty cool. It looks cool. Obviously, I haven't tried it. We don't endorse it. The details to it will be in the show notes, though, down below, if you want to go check it out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Phil. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that. We absolutely do not endorse it, right? So we're just the news. We're just announcing things.
Just telling you it came out.
Thank you, Phil. Anyways, guys, that was our show. If you guys liked the episode, you know what to do. If you guys loved the episode, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.